Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be comparing the Xiaomi Mi 3, the Asus Zenfone 5 and the Moto G. And I feel these are some of the best Android phones in the price bracket of around 10,000 to 15,000. And if you recall, last year I named the Moto G as one of the best mid-range Android smartphones, but it was in 2013. But still the Moto G holds its place, and actually all the three phones are very good, but there are some subtle differences between all the three phones. Yes, the Xiaomi Mi 3 on paper is the most powerful device, and even this new Zenfone 5 is pretty powerful. But again, all these phones are not the best in every segment. So I have divided it into 14 segments. I have put it here, and I'll talk about the pros and cons of these devices in real world usage. First, when it comes to build quality and physical aspects, definitely these Xiaomi Mi 3 and the Asus Zenfone 4 are on the larger size. They sport a 5-inch screen and they are actually a little bit big. Yes, in terms of build quality, the build quality of all the three devices, the Moto G as well as the Xiaomi Mi 3 and even the Zenfone 5 is actually very good. But if single hand operations is important, I feel the Moto G's screen size, that is 4.5 inch, is most comfortable. Even I would say, though both these, Xiaomi Mi 3 and the Zenfone 5 have a 5-inch screen, in terms of handling, I feel the Zenfone 5 is a little bit more easier to hold compared to this Xiaomi Mi 3 due to the fact that the back is slightly curved, so it's easier to hold, whereas the back on the Xiaomi Mi 3 is a little bit flat. So if you have very small hands, the Xiaomi Mi 3 might be a little bit uncomfortable. Next, if we come to call quality, here I would say there is a drastic difference. I would say the Zenfone 5 has the best call quality. I would rate it 9.5 out of 10. Even the Xiaomi Mi 3 has very good call quality, and I would rate it around, again, 9.25 out of 10. Excellent call quality on both these devices. Whereas on the Moto G, the call quality is good enough, but it is not excellent. And if I would have to rate the call quality on the Moto G, I would rate it anywhere around 7.75 to 8 out of 10, because sometimes I do notice a little bit of muffling in voice calls with Moto G. It does not happen every time, but if we make very long voice calls, for example 15-20 minutes, I did notice some muffling with Moto G, which was not present on the Zenfone 5 and this Xiaomi Mi 3. So if you talk a lot on the phone, then I would say the Zenfone 5 or Xiaomi Mi 3 might be better options. Now when it comes to multitasking, both these Zenfone 5 and the Xiaomi Mi 3 have 2 gigs of RAM, and both of them did perform actually very good in multitasking. Even the Moto G actually did perform very good in multitasking, but with very heavy multitasking, yes, when we move from one heavy app to another app, with the Moto G, sometimes I did notice a little bit of stuttering. In terms of overall performance, I would say the Xiaomi Mi 3 was the most fluid because it runs on the Snapdragon 800 chipset, which is a quad-core processor. It's a blazingly fast phone, and even it could handle multitasking without any issues. So I would say in multitasking, all of them do very good, but the Xiaomi Mi 3 comes at the top. Second, I would rate the Zenfone 5, and third, the Moto G. Now when it comes to battery life, here we have some very interesting thing. I would say the Zenfone 5 has the least impressive battery. It has a 2110 milliamp hour battery, and I would say that among the three, the least impressive battery I got was on the Zenfone 5. It's not like that battery won't last, but certainly I'm just using this device with a single SIM. The Zenfone 5 is also a dual SIM variant, but even with the single SIM, I would say at the end of the day, I'm around 20% battery life. Definitely I got a lot better battery life on the Moto G and even on the Xiaomi Mi 3, but do remember that the Xiaomi Mi 3 has only a single SIM. So if you are going to plan to use both the SIMs, then I would definitely suggest the Moto G, as the Moto G has a better battery life if you want to use 2 SIMs rather than the Zenfone 5. Next is regarding micro SD card slot. Sadly, here the Zenfone 5 wins because both the Xiaomi Mi 3 and even the Moto G just do not have any micro SD card slot. So the storage is what you get. Now when it comes to cameras, here the situation actually changes entirely. This Xiaomi Mi 3 has a 13 megapixel rear facing camera, and I would say overall among the three, the Xiaomi Mi 3 camera is the best. The second vote goes to the Zenfone 5. It has an 8 megapixel camera, and even in artificial light it did a decent job. And the last I would rate the Moto G. The Moto G can take some decent photographs in outdoor conditions, but in indoors and artificial lighting conditions, the camera performance of Moto G was very poor. Now, if we move to gaming, again here I would say I would rate the Xiaomi Mi 3 as the first, and second vote would go to the Zenfone 5, because even very heavy games like Asphalt 8 could run on the high setting on this Zenfone 5. Yes, there was a little bit of lag, but on the Moto G I had to keep it at the medium graphic levels to get the same performance. So in terms of gaming, I would rate the Xiaomi Mi 3 as first, the Zenfone 5 as second, and the Moto G as third. Now if we come to screen quality, here again all the three devices have actually very good screen quality, all have IPS grade screen, but definitely the first ranking I would give it to the Xiaomi Mi 3. It sports a 5-inch screen which is a full HD, that is 1080p screen, and the quality of screen that Xiaomi has put on this is actually excellent. The viewing angles are very good, and also the panel can go very bright. The second vote I would give it to the Moto G, though it has just a 4.5-inch screen, but I feel in terms of brightness it is definitely a lot more brighter compared to the Zenfone 5. Now if we talk about heating issues, here I would say the Zenfone 5, when we stress it a lot, heats up the most. Second is the Xiaomi Mi 3. In normal usage, it did not get very hot or something like that. But yes, if you do extensive gaming on the Xiaomi Mi 3, yes, it does tend to become hot. Moto G, yes, it became warm, but it was not as hot as the Xiaomi Mi 3 or the Zenfone 5. Now if we move to the USB OTG, luckily all the three devices support USB OTG. Earlier the Zenfone 5 used to not support USB OTG, but just a couple of days ago we got an OTA update. Now even the Zenfone 5 supports USB OTG. Now, if we move to the speaker output, here the clear winners are the Xiaomi Mi 3 and the Moto G. I would definitely say the Moto G is a little bit louder compared to even the Xiaomi Mi 3. So first I would give it to the Moto G. Second vote I would give it to the Xiaomi Mi 3. The Xiaomi Mi 3 audio quality is also actually very good. It has a mono speaker. But in terms of the speaker output, the Zenfone 5 is the weakest. So if you watch a lot of multimedia content on your phone without using the headphones, I won't recommend the Zenfone 5, because even at the max volume, the volume level is actually pretty weak on this Zenfone 5. Now if we move to single hand operations, here definitely the Moto G wins because of its 4.5-inch screen and the compact form factor. So it's very easy to use with a single hand, whereas both the Zenfone 5 and even the Xiaomi Mi 3 are a little bit difficult to use with a single hand. You have to do a stretch up a little bit to reach all corners of the screen. Now if we move to the next point, that is Android updates. Here again I would say the advantage goes to the Moto G. The Moto G is already running the Android KitKat, that is 4.4.4, which is the latest version of KitKat at the time of shooting this video. And Motorola has also said that the Moto G will get the Android L update. Second vote would go to the Xiaomi Mi 3. The Xiaomi Mi 3 is also running KitKat, but it's the Android version 4.4.2. In the Mi community, some of the developers have hinted that this Mi 3 will also get the Android update. But in terms of update, definitely the Asus Zenfone 5 is not the best, because even now it is running the Android version 4.3, that is Jelly Bean. Asus has said that this device will also get the KitKat update, but they haven't mentioned anything about Android L updates. So definitely I would say if Android updates are a priority, definitely the Moto G and the Xiaomi have an upper hand compared to the Zenfone 5. Lastly, when it comes to GPS, I did all my testing with the Google Maps, and I would say the best performance I got was with this Mi 3. It could lock to the GPS very quickly. and the performance was great. And even the Moto G's GPS performance was excellent. I in fact used the navigation on the Moto G for about 500 kilometers, and the Moto G never let me down. But sadly, the GPS navigation on the Zenfone is a little bit weak, because sometimes I do notice that the GPS lock it leaves the lock when there is a lot of trees around. So definitely, if GPS navigation is the highest priority, then definitely the Xiaomi Mi 3 and the Moto G are better. So these are some of the differences between all these devices. So you need to decide which one is better for you. Definitely, I would say, if you just compare the raw performance, definitely the Xiaomi Mi 3 comes at the top, considering the price to performance. And second, I would say the second fastest device would be the Zenfone 5, because even though it has an Intel dual core processor that's clocked at 1.6 gigahertz, but it's a very fast phone, and it also has 2 gigs of RAM, which actually does make it pretty fast. But the biggest con with this Zenfone 5 is its mediocre battery life and the speaker output. And obviously the Moto G comes in at the middle. So again, it's up to you to decide which device is better for you, the Xiaomi Mi 3, the Zenfone 5, or the Moto G. Do let me know which one do you think is the best in the YouTube comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. By subscribing, you'll be notified when I add a new video. That's it for now. Thank you for watching this video. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.